WWE 2015. This was an alright year. A lot of exciting things happened. A lot of good things happened. Still some bad things, but overall I enjoyed this year and it was better than 2014. So we're going to start off the Royal Rumble. We're going to start off with the controversy. Roman Reigns won the Royal Rumble. And at the end of the event, tons of fans booed him out of the building. The ending saw Big Show and Kane, they were fighting each other. Roman Reigns comes along and throws him over the top rope. They jump back into the ring. They start beating him up. All of a sudden, The Rock comes out. I was excited to see The Rock there. It's him and Roman. They team up on Big Show and Kane. They throw him over the rope. And then comes in the ring Rusev, who has not yet been eliminated. And if Roman Reigns threw Rusev over the top rope, Roman wins. I don't mind Roman Reigns winning. So I don't like how it was done. But my first choice is Daniel Bryan. So it was a lot of people. And he was eliminated very early. He was eliminated by Bray Wyatt. But, I'm fine with that. Because Daniel Bryan had a neck injury. If he did not get a neck injury, he might have won this Royal Rumble. This all stems back to the Yes Movement in 2014. Now, I never liked it. When he got hurt and had to vacate the title, that's when I deemed the Yes Movement kind of a failure. Why? Because he never earned a spot to WrestleMania. He was rushed in there at the last moment. Then he got hurt. You ruined the return of Batista. And you opened the doors for Roman Reigns. Not only that, you also created the Triple H problem we will get to towards WrestleMania. Roman won the Rumble, I was fine with that. Roman versus Brock sounded like a better match than Bryan versus Brock. Anyway, in the Royal Rumble match, you also saw Bubba Ray Dudley make his return. You see the Boogeyman make his return. He has to stare down with Bray Wyatt. Also, that event, you have Brock Lesnar defeat John Cena and Seth Rollins. An amazing triple threat match. So that's the Royal Rumble. So next pay-per-view after that was Fastlane. And Fastlane, the main event was Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan. They were continuing their feud from the controversy of the Royal Rumble, so WWE trying to make up for their mistakes. This was a pretty good match. Roman Reigns beats Daniel Bryan. Some fans didn't like that. I was alright with that. Roman vs. Brock sounded like a good match to me. You had Rusev defeat John Cena. That was also a pretty good match. Rusev won. I was shocked that he won. You had Sting confront Triple H. I like that. You have Randy Orton make his return to confront Seth Rollins after the Authority took him out back in late 2014. You have Bray Wyatt coming out and challenged The Undertaker. Before Fastlane, he was making all these weird vignette promos. He was talking about someone and who they were in the past, and he was talking about The Undertaker. Now, first I thought The Undertaker was coming out, but it was Bray Wyatt. He was challenging him to WrestleMania. Cody Rhodes and Goldust, they also had a match at Fastlane. This match also ended in controversy. I think Goldust won this match. I'm not sure. I'll have to go back and look at the results. Yeah. Well, let's go and look. Yeah, it was Goldust. So yeah. So far, the build to the Royal Rumble, thought it was an excellent build. Build towards Fastlane was also excellent. So far, so good. We were on a good start towards WrestleMania. But however, the final leg of this journey, I found it completely boring. Bray Wyatt selling his match to The Undertaker, that was alright. Randy Orton and Seth Rollins feuding towards WrestleMania, that was pretty good. Sting and Triple H, 50-50. Earlier on, I didn't really like it. Sting didn't talk. They portrayed him as the vigilante. They brought out Ric Flair, trying to figure out where he was for 17 years. They brought up that he wasn't TNA. They had this one. He had a vignette and had a voiceover over it. It wasn't even his voice. But I did like the Sting Triple H confrontation at Fastlane. I like Sting and Randy Orton taking out the Authority on the Go Show towards WrestleMania. I also like Sting confronting Stephanie. So it all came down to a match. As for the other stuff, John Cena and Rusev, he got a rematch for the U.S. title. Didn't really care about that. Didn't really like their feud. I don't think much their Fastlane feud was better. Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. This was also very boring. On the Go Home Show, they played tug of war over the belt. This makes me kind of wish Bryan took on Lesnar, because Roman and Brock didn't do anything. Kind of wanted them to fight and do a pull-apart brawl. That happened. They just played tug of war and looked at each other. Boring. Not only that, you have Roman Reigns spoil Seth Rollins' cash-in at WrestleMania. Roman was like, hey, Seth, come on down to WrestleMania and cash in. Did Seth do it? Well, we'll find out. So we get to WrestleMania. This was a pretty good WrestleMania. There's a few issues that they had, but overall it's pretty cool. We had John Cena defeat Rusev for the U.S. title. I expected that to happen, so I didn't really have much problem with it, but try to build a writing star in Rusev, you have him lose to John Cena. It's like Bray Wyatt last year. However, Rusev is already a joke, because he got embarrassed by The Rock twice already. You have Randy Orton defeat Seth Rollins, an amazing RKO. Randy Orton did. Seth Rollins went for the curb stomp. Orton got up, hit him with the RKO. The Undertaker made his return to WrestleMania, defeating Bray Wyatt. Last year at WrestleMania, the streak ended to Brock Lesnar. Also saw The Rock make an appearance at WrestleMania. Since he confronted Triple H, he also brought Ronda Rousey with him, she did like a body slam on Stephanie McMahon, kind of. You had Sting defeat Triple H defeat Sting. And I predicted Triple H to win. But this is the match where I had the problem with. You bring Sting into WWE, who has never been in WWE, you bring him into WrestleMania, you have him lose to Triple H. Why? And this is the Triple H problem. You can have him beat Brock Lesnar at 29, have him beat Sting at 31 and Batista at 35, but yet he takes a pin to Daniel Bryan. It's just ridiculous. You have Sting lose. This is the match that could have made Sting's career in WWE, but no, it broke his career. It's what made him a bust. Kind of a failure. I hate to admit that, but he was. This was the match that was that deciding factor. Face Seth Rollins later at the end of the year, but we'll get to that. The main event saw Brock Lesnar squaring off against Roman Reigns. It was a pretty good match. It was a fight. Brock dominated most of the match. Roman kind of came back, but Brock was kind of too powerful. You didn't have 5 on Roman Reigns. Then you have Seth Rollins coming out. He cashed in, did a curb stomp on Roman, and Seth Rollins walked away WWE champion. Now, I expected the cash in to happen because Roman Reigns kind of spoiled it for me, but yeah, Seth Rollins was champion. This was a pretty good WrestleMania. Triple H vs. Sting was probably the only match I didn't really like. It was a good match. And they brought out NWO and DX out there. Sting loses. It was all about WCW versus WWE. WWE won at the end. Triple H wins here. Sting should have won. So following WrestleMania, you get to see your summertime feuds develop. As Seth Rollins, he gets a list of challengers before SummerSlam. First, he feuds with Randy Orton at Extreme Rules. It was in a steel cage. He beats Randy Orton by doing an RKO on Randy Orton. Randy Orton couldn't do the RKO because they banned it. But Seth walks out the win. Then he feuds with Dean Ambrose all the way towards Money in the Bank. He beats Dean Ambrose. It was whatever. Didn't really care for it that much. But then he feuds with Brock Lesnar at Battleground. Brock Lesnar's coming back for his rematch after he took a hiatus after WrestleMania. And we'll get the Brock Lesnar Seth Rollins match just a minute because this had major SummerSlam implications. You had Kevin Owens make his main roster debut. And he beat John Cena at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. You have Roman Reigns and Bray Wyatt. They started their feud after Money in the Bank after Bray Wyatt cost Roman his match at Money in the Bank. The Money in the Bank winner was eventually Sheamus. Now, I was kind of shocked by that. I was surprised. I thought it was going to be Roman Reigns. I like Sheamus. It's kind of weird that they gave him Money in the Bank. So, Battleground between Brock and Seth Rollins. Brock hit an F5. He was going to win Seth Rollins. Till 1, 2, The Undertaker appears, attacks Brock Lesnar. And the next night on Raw, they get into a pull-apart brawl. That was one of the best pull-apart brawls I've seen in years. This sets up their match at SummerSlam, Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker. We also see John Cena and Seth Rollins begin their build for SummerSlam. It was a title-for-title match. It was the WWE Championship and the United States Championship on the line. You have the Shield getting the feud of the Wyatt family. Bray Wyatt defeated Roman Reigns at Battleground because of Luke Harper's interference. So Dean Ambrose comes to the rescue. So they begin their feud. Stephen Amell and Stardust, they begin a feud towards SummerSlam. Stephen Amell plays Arrow on the CW, and Stardust was mocking Arrow. It was mocking, the way he shoots the bow and arrow and that type of stuff. So we get to SummerSlam. This is a pretty good SummerSlam. Love the build going into SummerSlam. It kind of made up for the build going into WrestleMania. Yet Sheamus defeat Randy Orton in a shocking upset. Stephen Amell and Neville defeated Stardust and Wade Barrett. Yet Seth Rollins walked out with both titles. Thanks to Jon Stewart's interference, he hit John Cena with a chair. Seth Rollins wins. And Undertaker wins controversially over Brock Lesnar. So Brock Lesnar had The Undertaker in the Kimura lock. The Undertaker tapped out. But however, the bell rang, but the ref never signaled because he was checking for the pinfall. And Brock thought he had won. So they restarted the match. Undertaker low-blowed Lesnar. And Brock Lesnar passed out, so Undertaker wins. This was the first win Undertaker had over Brock Lesnar in a decade. Before this, he could never beat Brock Lesnar one-on-one by pinfall or submission. He kind of does here. However, Brock never tapped out. He passed out. So next night on Raw is a pretty big night. The Dudley Boys make their return. Sting makes his return as well and confronts Seth Rollins after his loss to Triple H at WrestleMania. Braun Strowman made his debut. It's Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, and Sasha Banks. They made their debuts. They formed tag teams. Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch formed a tag team with Paige. Sasha Banks formed a tag team with Naomi and Tamina. And the Bella Twins teamed up with Alicia Fox. They had 3 teams warring it out with one another. So, the road to WrestleMania was pretty good, except for that last leg. The build towards SummerSlam was also awesome. And the ending of the year was also pretty good. Except for a few issues. One was with the Dudley Boys. Dudley Boys and Sting. Major issues, WWE booking them at the end of this year. First pay-per-view Night of Champions is Seth Rollins and Sting. Seth Rollins also has defended his title against John Cena, who's doing double duty. So John Cena won his U.S. title back first. Then Seth Rollins came out Then Sting came out, challenged Seth Rollins for the title in the main event. Seth Rollins won. Unfortunately, this event, Sting got hurt. He had a neck injury, and he decided to retire. And that was the end of Sting's run in WWE, and I was disappointed because Sting didn't really have a great run. Lost to Triple H, lost to Seth Rollins. They call him the greatest wrestler to never step foot in WWE ring. Now you can call him the greatest wrestler to never win a match in WWE, one-on-one by pinfall or submission. He did win 2 matches prior to this. One was against the Big Show by disqualification. So if you want to count that match, you can. If you don't, if you want to count that match, you can. But since it was qualifications, kind of the same as no contest. So if you don't want to count it, you don't really have to count it. And then Seth Rollins was the reason for it. He interfered, refereeing the bell. He had Cena come out, and they formed a tag team. So in the main event of Raw one week, it was Cena and Sting versus Seth and the Big Show, and Sting made Seth Rollins tap out, so Sting won. So he's basically 2-2, but that match against Triple H, if he won, it would have been 3-1. You had Chris Jericho and Dean Ambrose and Roman Reigns, the Shield, lose to the Wyatt family. There's some tension between Dean Ambrose and Chris Jericho. You had Charlotte Flair defeat Nikki Bella, who was the longest reigning Divas champion at the time, so she's the new champion. You have Kevin Owens walk away from Ryback as the Intercontinental Champion. And also at that event, you have the New Day defeat the Dudley Boys. And the Dudley Boys were just poorly mistreated. They lost to the New Day 3 times in a row. One was at Night of Champions, one was at WWE Live from Madison Square Garden, and one was at Hell in a Cell. They also lost at TLC to the Wyatt family. So right away, the Dudleys came back. They got buried very quickly, and it pissed me off. I love Sting. I love the Dudleys. They should have been treated better. So right away, RVD, Sting, the Dudleys, my favorites from TNA, they came over. They all gone buried. This is the issues they have with WWE. They bury talent, especially people from TNA and somewhat from NXT. Didn't really bury a lot back then, but coming up in 2016, they started to. So, Hell in a Cell came along. This was a pretty good Hell in a Cell. My favorite Hell in a Cell. Had Alberto Del Rio make a shocking return and unseat John Cena as U.S. champion. Yet Seth Rollins defeated Kane for a WWE title. You have Roman Reigns defeat Bray Wyatt inside Hell in a Cell. Yet Charlotte Flair retained her title against Nikki Bella. At the time, I was kind of a fan of Charlotte. She was very appealing to me. I liked her. She's pretty cool. The main event was Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker, continuing their controversial feud from SummerSlam. And Brock Lesnar defeated The Undertaker inside his cell. He low-blowed him in F5 and won. After the match, you see the Wyatt family come out and beat down The Undertaker. This was pretty cool match, pretty cool event. I enjoyed it. So we get to Survivor Series. This is known for the Brothers of Destruction come together in a tournament to crown a new world champion. Now, 2 weeks before Survivor Series, Seth Rollins was supposed to go up against Roman Reigns. However, at a house show in Ireland, he tore his ACL, his MCL, and his meniscus. He was out for 6 to 9 months, had to vacate the title. A tournament was created to decide who would be a new world champion. My overall opinion, I thought the tournament was kind of weak. You kind of knew who'd make it to the finals. The final 4 was Roman Reigns, Alberto Del Rio, Dean Ambrose, Kevin Owens. Roman Reigns beat Del Rio. Ambrose defeated Kevin Owens. So the tournament finals was Roman Reigns versus Dean Ambrose. Roman Reigns won, so he's the new world champion. So Triple H tries to congratulate him. Roman Reigns does not want to shake his hand. All of a sudden you see Sheamus come out. He cashes in. He bro kicks Roman Reigns twice. And Sheamus walks away as your new world champion. He's sold out and he's a new member of the Authority. And, I'm proud of Sheamus becoming the champion. I've always been a big fan of Sheamus. So glad to see where this would go. You had the Brothers of Destruction team up and defeat the Wyatt family, Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper. So they continued their feud from WrestleMania as well. So at TLC, had Sheamus, Roman Reigns in a rematch. Sheamus won. Roman Reigns was angry. He went off on Triple H, hit him with a chair, and speared him, which set up their match for next year. To me, on Raw, Vince McMahon came out. He wanted to fire Roman Reigns, but he gave him a rematch for the WWE title. If he lost, it would have been fired. Except he beat Sheamus on Raw, and he became WWE champion. I was all for that. I've never seen a title change on Raw before, and they finally did it. 2015, it was a big moment. They were in Philadelphia. The crowd cheered him, which was the same city that booed him when he won the Rumble earlier that year. I kind of feel bad for Roman Reigns because he's been cashed in twice on. Cashed in on at WrestleMania by Seth Rollins, cashed in at Survivor Series by Sheamus. And we see Roman Reigns enter feud with Vince McMahon towards the end of the year. We see Paige enter the feud with Charlotte as their team started to implode. Dean Ambrose defeated Kevin Owens at TLC and walked away with the Intercontinental title. So they had some pretty good feuds towards the end of the year. In 2015, it ended up being an alright year. 2015, I would give this year probably 8 out of 10. I like the feuds. Going to Royal Rumble Fastlane, last leg of WrestleMania was kind of boring. WrestleMania was pretty good. Only issue was Sting and Triple H. The build towards SummerSlam was awesome. The build after that was awesome, and the build towards the end of the year was also awesome. The only thing I didn't like was the Dudleys. They buried the Dudleys, they buried Sting, but overall this year is better than last year. So I'm giving 8 out of 10. Could I do it in 2016? We will see.